so used to dudes like literally beating the shit out of each other and then like hugging.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is, but
it's like no one right now. Like, well, we do shows all across like San Fernando, and we're making our way to IE. But those SFE kids, dude, like we did Flash City, the boxing ring. Mm-hmm. Those kids fucking go so hard. Like we saw like one dude on the floor. He's getting like the shit fucking beat out of him by like 3-4 other dudes. And I throw in Peter, you know, I'm not going to go. And I have a shitty face. I was like, and I pushed Peter. I was like, you already have CTE. Go fucking, go deal with this. And I push him in and he's like, hey. He starts throwing out. And the kid on the floor, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, well, aren't you guys fucking fighting? He's like, no, these are my boys. What's up? And I'm like, yo, your fucking face is all fucked up. Like, you're bleeding. I'm like, yeah. He's like, we're good. And I was like, all right. Yeah, when it was Aladdin Juniors, I had MDK there. And I was all like, oh, I want to go in and watch. And I come in through, you know how like there was like the 2 or 3 doors like on the side? Mm-hmm. So I popped my head in through like that middle door and I took a fucking fist to the face. I was like, all right, nah.
Just immediate.
Yeah, it was like, I was like saying like something to like my door person. And I turned and just, bah, and I caught one. I was like, nah, that wasn't cool. I was like, went up to the other door and then just like, I couldn't even get the door open. The kids were just slamming in. I was like, I bet. Yeah. And I come in through like that door that's on like the street, and I opened it and I was like, all right, cool. Took a foot to the face. I was like, I think I'm better behind this glass right here. I was like, this is my safe space. We're good. I'm like, I'll kick it out here.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. Not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind Podcast. This is episode 128, the show where we like normalize checking on the homies. I'm Mike, that is also Mike, and this week we got another Perez in the house.
Yeah.
We got Brandon Perez from Kondor in the building, chilling with us. Can't even talk now. Dude, welcome, man.
Thanks for having me. It's been a long time. Been watching you guys a lot, especially since you had like Noe and Iron Rule and everybody on here.
Yeah.
So
sick.
I was like doing my research a little bit on it. I was like, let's see how this goes.
Let's watch some past episodes and make sure I don't get into anything weird.
Yeah, I was like, let's see what these guys are about first.
Like, episode 128. All right, now we take our shirts off.
Yeah. We're starting a new thing.
Yeah. Just for you.
And for anyone who doesn't, you probably can't see it, but Mike and I are both wearing green shirts. Totally not planned.
Total accident.
Yeah, but Brandon actually has green pants on.
And I never wear pants. Usually I'm in joggers.
So everyone got the memo except Jesse, but it's okay.
Yeah, shout out to Smoked for giving me my shirt after all this time since they were on the episode. But
I mean, that's cool.
You should have been there, man.
I know.
Should have been there.
It's broke, dude. Broke.
The Desmadre show this weekend was insane.
Yeah, I saw videos of it.
Yeah.
Jealous. I was being fat.
Dude, I was being fat there. They had this pizza guy, and dude, he handmade every single pie, stretched out the dough, like whatever, made the pizza, and then he had the option, like, do you want me to put hot honey on the pizza? So, dude, I don't know how to describe it. I was just like, and the crust was like that nice consistency, a little charred from the fire. Yeah.
Fuck.
Being a fat
so
kid,
hungry.
too.
That's a winner right there. Yeah. My titty just sweat a little bit.
We're like, all right, this has been a good episode. Let's go get food. Yeah, that show was rad. The thing that's insane, and me and Martin were talking about it, like, they did this whole festival huge thing just because they dropped a new single. Like, it's a whole festival for a new single and music video. But it was cool, man. Like, just seeing that whole LA community come out for that was sick. Like,
yeah, those guys go super hard, especially with they'll just jump on a bill and then you see like the actual flyer, like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a real fucking event. And it's not like they don't just do like a random like show here or there. It's just like, this is something that you will like skip a graduation just to go to this event. So
and so it was like a like a Concrete Cowboys Joker brand collab. Like Esteban Oriol was there, and there was like when Desmadre played, they had visuals on like the wall while they were playing. So I was dying laughing because I'm watching them play, and then you see the chase scene from OJ, the OJ chase scene in the Blanco, like driving, and then the Desmadre logo is just spinning in front of the chase. I was like, "What the fuck, man? It's so sick." Yeah, it was cool. So
At least that's the right way of doing it. So like at Mirror Image, you remember Mirror Image?
yeah.
I remember Mirror Image.
Dude, I think last time I saw him there, this dude jumped off stage and he just bounced off the ground and he put like a 4-foot hole in my wall. But that dude, when a band was playing, he just like throw random shit and he just like faded in and faded out. And then so I think it might have been during like Casey Jones that just like out of nowhere he just fades in this girl like looking out like a medieval tower porthole, and he just faded right back to the band. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like this place is sold out right now.
This is so weird.
Kids are getting like rock left and right. And you just and then I'm like, it's fucking coming back. He just kept throwing it in. And it wasn't like it was like between songs or anything. It was like right before some shit was about to go down, and just lady looking out the window and back. I'm like, and I like went up to them. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And they're like, sorry about what? We're sorry about the hole in your wall. I was like,
it's fair.
Deal? Even?
That's right. I forgot. That was the Casey Jones
100th, you guys.
That's Fortis Honor.
Yeah.
Dude, what a tour.
Fuck. What a venue with a 4.5-foot stage, dude.
Dude.
Wait,
Fall You Die.
Wasn't that also the place where you played Super Hammered?
It wasn't Hammered.
I know. I just didn't want to say the other things.
Thank you.
I don't think that was one of your shows, though.
No, that specific show, I think it was Spotted Owl that did that one.
Okay. Mike played this show. I've never seen Mike, we'll say this...
It was on a different planet, dude.
This intoxicated, especially right before a show, because we had been at a pool party all before that. There were summer beers involved and a lot of liquor, various other things. And I had the DVD that they gave you afterwards for a while too, which was kind of a weird thing. Like they would hand you a DVD of your set.
Yeah.
And Mike was like, I don't want it. And he just handed it to me. And I was like, I'm going to save this forever. I don't know where it is. But thank God. I wish I still had it because it was so funny to watch. Mike would walk over to, like, there was like the very side, there was like a something on the wall. And he was hanging off of it.
A little ladder thing.
Oh, yeah. To like the second. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I fell asleep.
Mid-set. He was standing up. He held it. And he just...
So... Dude, sounds so bad. We might have to cut this.
We'll cut from here.
That was I remember that was fun. We had Radius Claus played it, and then I was getting heckled. Play cycles, like oh, Brandon.
It was only me, dude. Like everybody else was super nice, super not fucked up, and then just me, just going for it. Just
cycles are nothing.
There's like a photo of me with a fucking like Coors Light like box on my head, and people just kept handing me bottles, and I don't even know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was fun.
Birthday shenanigans.
Birthday shenanigans.
I try to be cooler after that, you know.
Was that? What was that at?
Recess Studios.
Okay.
They're like so stages, and then it was that corner venue.
Yeah.
Now it's a dispensary, you know. Rest in peace, Recess. But
dude,
yeah,
okay.
that was a dope spot.
Yeah,
because then we even had you there as No Bragging Rights for real.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't fucked up.
Yeah. That's funny. I can't remember if it was our first time hanging out or whatever, but I remember going to your house. Was I picking up tickets? Was I?
No. I was in college, and I was in, I don't know, it was like a business class or something like that. And you had to like interview somebody that you wanted to like kind of like be what they're doing. I was like, well, I'm a promoter. Like this is kind of like what I want to do. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, what more do you want to do? I was like, well, I would love to tour. And it's like, boom, find somebody who tours. And I had already like talked to like Mike a little bit like online, I was like, yo, can I like interview you? Just like ask you like a couple questions. That's it.
Yeah.
Write it down. Do like a little like essay and stuff. So that was it. So
Yeah.
That's funny. I remember. I can't. Remember, I don't know if it was that time, but I remember at some point you sold me because this is before you start working with Chain, and you were like, don't book with them. Like don't like promise. I promise if you let me do your show like in Hannah, it'll be better than a Chain show. Like I promise.
Oh, that was the first time that I was gonna have you at. We called it Pirate Bar at the time.
Yeah, stages.
Before Malone's, yeah, now it's Stages.
Yeah.
Going through the names.
Yeah.
But I remember you're like, dude, like just like let me like prove it to you.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and so I remember we were all like pumped. We're like, all right, and then it was like sick. Like the show was awesome. And then did you get the location for our legacy video? It ended up being a show with the Greenery, but like we also were filming for.
No, you happened to be on tour with Green. There was 2 tour packages that we like combined together.
Okay.
And then we that was like a 12 p.m. to like 10 p.m. show. It was a long fucking show.
Yeah.
That was I think that was Spotted Owl on that one, because I had you guys the first time that we sold out Pirate Bar, and I was so stoked about it. And then like right after that is when we had you on that one.
Okay.
So
that one was,
I was just
that one was
working.
cool too.
Yeah.
Why did it go from Malone's to Stages? Did they sell?
No, they wanted to make it more marketable. It was like, oh, 2 stages, you know, and then and it was already like they were doing it before Corona. Everyone thought like it shut down because of Corona.
Yeah.
They were already in the process of it. Like they just wanted to like build it up. They were always putting money into it to kind of like build it up to kind of be like a little bit nicer. Like you should have seen that bar. Like the bar was like a center bar. We used to do all ages. We'd like block it off and everything.
Yeah.
A bunch of people ruined it, you know. So now it has to be 21 plus. But
I think that's kind of one of the tough things about that venue is the 21 and up part of it, because it's like you get a good sound guy in there, it sounds awesome in there, right? And like the shows like are rad, and then like we have so many people that always hit us up like, fuck, it's 21 and up. We're like, get older.
Yeah, be older,
Yeah.
man.
Grow up, dude.
or I'm trying to bring my kid.
Yeah.
Like, tell your kid to be older.
Yeah. Like my girl wanted to bring Elliot to Noe's show, and I was like, oh, it's 21 and up. Then I get there and there's like a bunch of like kids and families and stuff like that. I was like, that's too late, but you could.
We do like a little height thing. I'm like, if you're like around this height, cool. You pass that a little bit, then I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Like, Gina's a sweetheart, but she'll fuck someone up.
Dude, she's a G, man. Every show I've ever been there, she's the bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
she's rad.
Yeah.
And she's good.
She'll like hit me up. She's like, so how do you think the show's gonna do? And I was like, it's like sometimes I get like 16 like pre-sale, but then I'll have like 200 and something walk-ups.
Yeah.
It's really hard to gauge.
Yeah.
But you know, I was just like, I don't know, like I think you'll be good by yourself. There's one time I booked this band called Skylark way back in the day. And then we ended up pulling like almost 400 people. And she's like, you should have fucking told me. I was like, I only sold 10 online. Like, I'm sorry. Like, she's like, and you're, and I wasn't even there to like help run. I was working at Target that day. And I was like, fuck. And like my buddies are texting me. They're like, yo, it's like really fucking packed. I'm like, well, that's good. He's like, no. The bar is really fucking packed. And it was an all ages show too. So at that time, if you were 21 plus, you were forced on the other side of the bar.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't walk around with your drinks. And then it was just like 200 people behind the bar and then like 100 people on this side.
Fuck.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah, good problem to have.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I have vivid memories of for like Tough Love, and just her just like it looked like she's just like running.
Yeah.
Like running
She was
down up and down the bar. She's
nonstop.
moving. I was like, dang, dude.
She got help that day.
Did she?
I think so.
She's really good at like seeing people too. So like, I see you like in the corner. I'm gonna get to you. Just let me whip up these 16 Modelos real quick.
And she has good memory too. She's like, she remembers you when you come back.
Yeah.
So that's always like I feel good about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That stuff goes such a long way.
Yeah.
I don't like being remembered or someone like
customer
this.
service. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So when we have some questions for you,
I
but
have a lot of questions actually.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
we got to get into those. But
Don't scare me.
some of them are good. Some of them are personal.
Better not throw any Del Taco Bell stuff in there. Like,
oh, dude, what side do you land on?
dude, I'm not gonna even get into this. There's like two different sides of things, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're like, I refuse to be part of this.
am I drunk or am I sober?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't go into politics either.
I was really interested to hear your take on the whole Israel-Gaza thing. So.
I did zero research.
Dude, sorry, tangent, but I felt so. I was like so stoked because I love hard lore, that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
That
dude, that promo was so freaking good. And I saw it when I was on the Walking Blind Instagram. I was going through, and then it's like it's for God's hate, and they're doing they're promoting their new shorts, and so Colin is doing the spin kick test, and so he's wearing jeans and he rips his jeans, and then he puts on the shorts, and of course he can spin kick, but it like transforms him, or it takes him to a new place, and it's like I'm gonna ruin it, but he's like, it basically is like, you know, the shorts that it'll get you where you want to go, and then it like pans into Taco Bell, and he like jump freeze frame,
freeze frame.
It's so good.
Oh yeah.
I had to make sure to throw a jab at the back line.
Dude. Yeah, that's a battle that will never end.
Oh,
And
no,
it's also fun when we get people on that, like, you know, I'm fully expecting them to be like a Taco Bell guy, and they're like, fucking Del Taco, and I'm like, what? Just blows my mind.
Really, you have a different view of you now.
Yeah. We might not be friends anymore.
It's fun.
Never talk, so I'm gonna unfriend.
Get the number out of my phone.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna pull the questions. Might as well jump into all these. Or do you have them pulled up already?
I have them up.
Dude, might as well. Let's jump into them.
All right, so we have a couple from our boy Ty.
All right.
Torture culture. He says, most stressful part about putting on a show / festival together.
I think it's just trying to get something to land, or like in the first part. Like, you never want to book a band that has like never headlined before, because if you want them to headline, maybe they don't want to. Sorry. Every time I hit him up, I'm like, "You headlining, dude."
I know this last Chain show, or the Chain show that's coming up. Which, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Funny enough, we had just recorded with 92, right? And then you hit me up about doing this Chain show. As soon as you said Chain, I was like, fuck yeah, I hope everybody's home. So I hit up the guys. Cool, we're home. And then we started like reaching out to a bunch of different bands, and it all just like fell in line because I didn't realize it was your episode like
Coming
tonight,
out,
and it drops Friday, the morning of the show.
Oh hell yeah!
Right, so it was like
Sick.
92, and then your episode drops literally the day of that Chain show that we all booked together. So I was like, sick. It's gonna all kind of fell into place. It was rad.
Nice domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, can we not headline? I was like, nah, dude, like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, I won't do that to you again.
And I said it after we had reached out to a bunch of bands. He's like, we got it filled. I was like, sick. It would be really rad if we didn't have to headline.
nice middle now, you know?
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to the Burner State guys. It's like, there's a difference between headlining and playing last.
Yeah.
I was like, we are playing last. So just, you know.
Well, it's also like, so where I had you like on those headliners, like at DBA, it's like, it's hard to find bands that like will pull to that area. Either A, they're like not from the area, or B, it's like the genre is not like, because at DBA I can't do like hardcore or metal or anything like that. They're just like, hey, no mosh pits.
Yeah,
and I was like,
a little heavy.
some easier punk stuff. Like, you know, I could throw a little like post-hardcore pop punk stuff like that. I'm like, who's gonna pull? I'm like, sorry, Mike. Like, Burner State just always comes with the crowd, and they always stay, and they're always super friendly, and they buy drinks.
Yeah.
And I need this bar to think that like I'm a cool guy.
We all get toasty.
Yeah.
That was a nice thing about the Burner State crowd. We definitely will hang.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that you have, like, in Burner State, you have the Fender crew, right? So, like, the people would come from work, essentially, and coworkers and stuff. And then you also had Ty and, like, the AB crew, like, and everybody likes to drink. Everybody
Oh,
likes
that's
to
true.
party. So it was like this connection of like two worlds that would just be like, all right, cool, yeah, let's go have a good time.
And everyone's old. Everyone wants to.
But did you guys like plan it that all you guys just show up at the same time? Because for some reason I'd be like, Dad, boom, 100 people. I'm like, just like a secret group chat.
Nah, I feel like everyone just. I don't know.
Fashionably late.
Yeah, I think also too for I think Burn State was one of the first accessible ones of, like, our friends bands, because like I feel like a lot of our friends bands either weren't playing anymore, or they were like too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think Burn State was very accessible, and it was just like, I don't even know who of our friends really liked the band's music, but it was like fun to hang out and catch up, because that was kind of right after the pandemic, basically.
Yeah.
And so I think it was just cool just to like hang out.
Yeah, unite again.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. Short. It's just really hard to find something that sticks, because sometimes like I have a tour package that hits me up. I'll get the date, and then the tour package goes, sorry, they want like an LA proper show. I'm like,
Why?
I just fought like 9 holds for this venue.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. Well, I can't do a hardcore show that day because this hardcore bill is going to be at this spot over here. I'm like, all right, let me see if like a pop punk show could be put together, and that way we're not competing. That's like a huge thing that we try to do, is we always try to like look out for other shows that are going on. Mm-hmm. So that way I don't like to step on toes. Like, we know everybody, we're friends with everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if you're doing like a metal show, I don't want to do a metal show. It's like, oh, bet. We're also do pop punk, we do like emo, we do everything. So it's kind of like nice to have different genres.
Yeah.
But just finding like one band that was like, yeah, we're down to headline, is like, I'm gonna roll the dice, I'm gonna tell you you're headlining, and it's like, if you get mad about it, sorry, dude. It's like,
I think like for torture culture, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we'll headline, but we're not going to be the best headliner you can get. But we're still going to put on the same show no matter what time.
I was gonna say, but you always bring power to your set,
like
so
we'll still like, no matter who's there, no matter how many people, whatever it is, like we'll still play the same show regardless.
Yeah.
But we just prefer not to headline.
Nobody likes headlining. Let's just be honest. Nobody likes headlining. But
Which is weird, because I feel like when we were younger, it was like, oh, it's my dream to be at the top of a flyer.
Yeah.
I just want my name at the top of a flyer. And then your name gets on the top of the flyer, you're like, oh, shit.
And now everybody's like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
So I've noticed our shows are getting earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I can get everybody out by 10:20, everyone can make it to work on time tomorrow.
yeah.
Like, being home, bed 11,
Yeah.
we're good to go.
Yeah.
Except me, I get screwed. I have to be up at like 3, 4 in the morning, and then the merch stuff doesn't stop. It's terrible.
Yeah. It never ends.
Yeah.
Well, and then he said, favorite show that you've put together so far in 2024.
Ooh,
Oh, that's a hard one.
damn, that is a hard one.
It's like being your favorite kid.
Honestly, I
Don't
think...
worry, none of the bands that you book, they don't listen to our podcast. So you're fine.
Oh, great. I think it was the antagonist show, the final antagonist show, because as Kondor, like we've booked out Chain for a little bit, but I always wanted to sell out Chain. We sold out Chain, but I was partnering with like Pinup, so it didn't feel like it was just us working the ground, like getting it going. And then Carlos, we were talking to Carlos for like over a year. He's like, yo, just the last show. And I was like, I always got dates like 4 or 5 weeks out. And he's like, I need something way out there so I could plan it, because we're having a fuck ton of people that are going to come out. Every like band member is going to do like a song, whatever.
Yeah.
And finally I just like landed that date. I was like, all right, let's get it going. And then when we announced the show, Shane like hits me up. He's like, do you know what's going on? I was like, no. Like, what? He's like, do you know how your pre-sale's going? I'm like, I don't know, just assuming 15 like normal. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, because all the money we were just gonna give to antagonists. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. I was like, we don't care. We're just stoked to be here. And he's like, you're breaking 100 already.
Dang.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, I never had 100 pre-sale before.
That's sick.
I was like, well, besides like making bands sell pre-sale, but we don't do that anymore. Not with Kondor. No pre-sale. But yeah, I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, cool. And it started getting like up to the day. And I'm just like, I don't know. I felt like I was like having menopause. I was just sweating all the time. I'm like, oh, like, are we gonna sell out? Are we gonna sell out? And I didn't want to. The whole show, I was like, I don't want to pop my head in. I don't want to pop my head in. I don't want to pop my head in. I was like, everyone leave me the fuck alone. I was just like, I've never been like excited, stressed about like
It's
an
a
event.
big deal.
It's like, and I've worked a lot of events. I've toured and I've done everything, but I'm like, I think we're gonna do it. And I was super excited. And then finally, they're like, yo, I need you to come up front. And it was Lalo, and I go up front, and then I see the window, and it says, tonight's event is sold out. Oh, I almost started crying. I was like, everyone get away from me. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna go throw up. And then finally I like tore down like my merch table, and I was just like, I'm watching Carlos up there just fucking kill it. Every band like up there. I was in there for the end of Gabe's set.
Yeah.
And I was like fucking crushing it. I was like, I'm like watching everybody. So many like old people coming out, a lot of new faces coming out. Some of these kids like first time that they're there with their parents. Like, hey, like do you know who like this is? And I'm like, yeah, it's like Antagonist. He's like, this guy's like mom was like my teacher, or like, and then Peter's like going through his emotional thing because Peter like knew Carlos, and his mom was like his teacher, and it's just like a whole circle that's like finally completing at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is why I fucking do it, you know? So it was cool. It was just cool having like that feeling.
Dude,
So,
I love that.
yeah.
That's cool. Friday's not going to do that for you. It's not going to bring the emotion like that for you. I apologize.
Don't hate
in
me.
advance.
I'm not gonna even be there on Friday.
I know.
Good.
And you had texted me before,
Good.
like,
Good. Yeah, good. Not the video shows.
like, by the way, I'm not going to be there, but I was
It was
like,
like I have a trip to go see my buddy Jake.
yeah.
And then when Shane hit me with it, I was like, let's jump in on it. And I was like, again, I'm not gonna see Torture Culture. I was like, damn it. It's carried on from Burner State over.
Hey,
to
that's fine.
Pass the torch.
Yeah. You got it.
The Green Shirt Gang.
I feel like you can still miss about 2 more Torture Culture shows if you'd like.
Yeah.
Before
it's fine.
Before he's okay to complain. There's a good one. These are all Ty questions. So he says, what things make you want to book a band for like repeat shows? Like, what would make you want to bring back a band?
First, if they're like super cool, I really like, I never try to be the face of like Kondor. I try really hard to like let Kondor be its own thing. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't want people coming in and going like, hey, you're the dude who like runs Kondor. It's like no, we run Kondor. Like Aaron, Lalo, Peter, and I, like we all like are together about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just repeat question one more time. I started going on somewhere and I feel like I got like a little like crap.
Like what things about a band makes you want to work with?
Oh yeah, it's like, so when they come up and they're just like really cool, they're there on time. First of all, the whole on time thing, because as you guys know, I love loading in early.
Yeah.
You have your gear inside, you're not gonna go hang out in my parking lot. 2 reasons. Well, you've already heard the spiel, but I don't want with the world we're living in, I don't want people hanging out in the parking lot and some crazy person comes up, something happens, and I can't see you. Right. So if you're already there inside and you're loaded in, great. I know where you're at. I know you're already here. Mm-hmm. And then just being super humble and talking with everybody. I like when, I like a lot of our shows because we book like newer bands and older bands. Mm-hmm. So when I get to see like those older bands actually reach out to talk to those newer guys, it's like, whoa, that's like a connection that wouldn't normally happen at a lot of other shows. So I think that's what makes me really want to book bands again, is like having the community mindset. Yeah. And that's what we try to break a lot, is the competition. Mm-hmm. Like like you guys have talked in previous episodes. Mm-hmm. There's no more we shouldn't have competition. Yeah. The only way to grow our scene is to build off of each other. Right. It's not, oh, my fans are gonna go to your show because whatever. It's like, what the fuck does that matter? Yeah. It's, we're sharing the community. I support you like you support me. My fans and my friends are going to support you because you support me. Yeah. And that's how everybody finds the new band. The scene grows, bands grow, and now it's like today's day and age, there's more bands around our area that are getting, they're growing bigger and bigger every single day. So to just see everybody actually like talking, that's like my first step to want to like book you again.
Yeah.
Second, if you're just like, just have a great set,
Yeah.
promo. We've booked a lot of bands that they just like, oh, I'll just post once on my story, and I'll message them like, yo, can you like promote the show? Ghost me. I'm like, that's not gonna make me not book you again, but it's gonna put it in consideration. Like maybe I don't hook you up with like this show, like because you don't want to put your all into this smaller show,
Right.
So,
I'll say it on here, and I think I've probably said it before. And this is just me speaking for myself. I guess I don't want to take all my bands that I'm in and take them down with me. I notice that shit. If you don't promote, I don't want to work with you again.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring you on other shows.
Yeah.
So like, I can only imagine what it's like being the person putting on the shows. But for me, I'm always keeping tab of like, we played with this band. Like, I'm totally fine with like you play a show and like people can't come out to see you because you're in a new area or you're just a new band. Totally fine. But if you haven't tried to promote, dude, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. As being in a band, I will never understand that. Like, it would come from the era of like flyering before we had access to just make a little post. And a lot of times these bands, you don't even make the flyer.
Yeah.
Like,
you got the PNG, post it.
yeah, post it.
That's it.
Like, that shit, I can't handle that.
Until you've stolen a bunch of flyers from FedEx or Kinko's on accident. I don't want to talk about it.
Allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know what the statute of limitations is, but allegedly.
I know, I've had some people tell me like, "Oh, we just don't have a following." It's like, I don't.
Doesn't
but
matter.
like 2 people might see that shit. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
who cares?
That's how you grow the following.
Yeah.
You promote,
Just
you
be
tag the other
involved.
bands in it, That's one thing that I think is really cool about like Instagram now is you can do collab posts.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
Love that.
It's no longer you're only seeing like my 10 likes, you're seeing my 10 likes plus this band's 75, this band's like 80, and it's like, well, this show's actually like growing, growing. So, yeah,
I just
think
wish
that's a
they'd
huge thing.
give you more collaborators on the post.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we just dealt with that.
Yeah.
It's coming, I think. I feel like.
You can only tag like 20 bands in it too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to post all my shows coming up. So,
I don't know. Let me see if I'm stealing anybody's thunder.
if it's Peter, fuck it. Don't worry about it.
But I wanted to. I don't think I got to ask Davey this. This is like my favorite question to promoters. Since you guys see so many bands, you work with so many bands. Is there a band, and this could be recent or from back in the day, or whatever? But like, is there a band that comes to mind that you think of like, I saw them, the first time I saw them, they played in front of like 5 people giving a shit, and then 30 people giving a shit, and then 100 people giving a shit, and then like, was there a band that you think of like you saw the growth?
Yeah, Silent Planet.
Oh damn,
Dude, we booked Silent Planet a long time ago. I think the first time I actually booked Silent Planet was in 2012. I had Design the Skyline from Atlantis and the Browning at
Okay.
Pirate Bar, Stages, Malone's, whatever era you were at that venue. That venue. And I threw them on, and I think they were my opener, like my third band or something like that. And then we just put them on another one, and then we just kept booking them, and then it just kept growing. I was like, holy shit! I was like, this is a band that is going to go the distance.
Yeah.
And then it was just one night, blown up, biggest band ever. Now they're selling out like House of Blues Anaheim. I love these guys so much. And what's also cool is like, it's a band that really, really deserves it. Not only are they like super nice and humble and like great on stage, they're like that in person. Like, little personal thing with Silent Planet is, I was on Warped Tour, like my first like full summer Warped Tour, and my brother was dying. He had cancer, and once they found out, they made it a point to just like find me, hug me, like give me like, they're like, whatever you need, you let us know. Like, and I was like, I didn't have a lot of friends on Warped Tour. I always knew like everybody within this local scene, but when you're on Warped Tour, there's like,
It's different.
yeah, it's so many people that you've just never met before and everything. And I'm also with a band. I was with Fire from the Gods, so I was like close with them, but it wasn't like somebody from my home,
Yeah.
So when Garrett came up to me and he gave me like a really big hug, I was like, I actually felt like home for a second, and like because I didn't have anyone, it was just me finding these things out through FaceTime, phone calls, text messages, and so that's like a band that like I really truly like hold like dear to me, because like I saw you on the smallest stage. Like they played at Recess for us once,
Dang.
and now I'm seeing them on the biggest stages.
Yeah.
So I'm
What
like,
year was that?
Warped Tour?
Yeah.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them play Warped Tour and thinking like, damn, these dudes are fucking huge right now. Like,
Yeah.
killing it. And running into people that were like that were in our local scene, like, yo, we're going to fucking check out Silent Planet. Actually, some of the barbers that work over at the barbershops back then, before they were, you know,
Yeah.
very big barbers. And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking check out this band." I was like, "Oh, sick!" And we went over there and checked them out, because I honestly hadn't really listened to them before that, and I saw them play, and I was like, "Dude, these guys are killing
Rip.
it. Like, they're sick."
Just yeah, their warm-ups, everything. It's like that is one band that will always go the distance no matter what. Like
Yeah,
you can put them in a house show, you'll put them in the big room, doesn't matter. They're gonna come off that stage and they're gonna hug every single person in that crowd.
I love that.
And that's awesome, you
I
know.
love that shit.
Not front flip Mike over here, you know.
Yeah. Over here yelling that promoters aren't at the shows and shit. Fucking rock star.
Scaring my people.
I missed you so much.
Fucking yelling at people in the UK about the wrong water.
There was a lot of build up to that. Okay, it wasn't just a. Anyway, that's
Another podcast.
yeah. From our boy Victor from Low Sight. He said, "What made you want to start Kondor?"
I thought I was done. Like, my whole dream was to go on like Warped Tour and like do that. And I was touring for a while, and I got home, and I was like, I was already like, I had already parted ways like with Pirate. Like I wasn't throwing shows anymore. I was just like touring pretty much. And my buddy, he was a DJ. He's like, "Yo, can you put me on a show?" I was like, "Dude, I don't do
do
DJ
that.
stuff. Like, you know, I've been to like 1 or 2 raves. You know, I don't do that." He's like, "Well, I have a spot," and I was like, like,
Yeah.
go on. What about this spot? And then he's like, "Well, it's, you know, only DJ stuff." And I was like, "All right." So we started like checking it out, and then I was like helping him kind of like do his own little thing. Kondor wasn't really an idea at that time. And then a lot of people started like coming out like, "Oh, like we need a promoter, you know, who's do you have like access to a venue?" I was like, I don't book anymore. Like go like ask, you know, like other people, like go ask like Pin Up, and you know, there's always like Chain or whatever, you know, go hit them up. There's a lot of other promoters. He's like, and they just kept hitting me up and like, "Yo, I got a spot. Like I want to build together something. Like any way you can help us out." And then I was driving one day, and driving like the work van, and I started like, it just kind of like came out of nowhere. It started hitting me. I'm like, I have these connections. I know promoters. I know photographers. I know like everything. I'm like, why won't I just kind of put it together? I had my own like ideas. I always wanted to like be a promoter for the scene. You know, I've always wanted to unite the scene. I've always wanted to do weird lineups. You know, I'll put hardcore with metalcore. You know, I was like, I threw this guy onto Earth Groans and Convictions. You know,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, if I just do this, then, you know, I'm helping people out. Great.
Right.
And then that's just where it started. And then from then on, it just kind of, you know, took off. And then I just met like-minded people. And it was like my buddy, he was like, "Hey, like, there's this dude I work with at Water Grill. I think he's like into the same stuff as you." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I mean, he listens to like all the rah-rah stuff, you know, just, you should let him, let him help out." And that's how I got Aaron, you know, back in 2019. And now Aaron's like, it's just Aaron and I book like all the events now.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. Just kind of idea randomly driving. I was actually on the 10 freeway driving over to Pomona, dropped something off at Glass House, stuck in fucking traffic. And I'm like, why am I not doing this? It's such like a big part like of my life.
Yeah.
I've done it since 2011. And then I was just home for like 3 months, not doing anything music besides like doing like the merch gig. I'm like, I really fucking miss doing shows.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't have I didn't feel I was close anymore. So that's kind of just like brought me back in. Now just, you know, my poor wife suffers.
She knew what she was getting into.
Yeah.
Was that?
She knew what she was getting into.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't mean she likes it. She's like, oh, like let's go out and get dinner, and I'm like, I'm gonna go watch some kids get fucking slapped.
Yeah.
Like,
You want to come with me? We can grab Taco Bell after it.
yeah. I try to sell her on it. She's like, no, because then I know we're not gonna leave till like 1, and we gotta feed the cats, and then we gotta get up early and hit the farmer's market. I'm like, damn, my morning's gonna be so rough when you put it like that.
He also asks, any advice to newer bands trying to get shows with Kondor?
Oh, just it kind of sucks because we get like hit up so much by a lot of bands, like especially like out of area bands. Hey, we're from New Hampshire. Like, can we come play this show? I was like, how the fuck are you gonna get here? But
You can make it out here, yeah, dude.
yeah, but mainly just come out to shows. Like, come out to a show, show face, show that you're more than just some dude behind like a keyboard.
Yeah.
You know, because then at that point I already know, like, cool, you're already want to be part of the community.
Right.
You're already here, but also shoot us a message. Hey, we're this band. Don't just hit me with like a message like, you book shows.
Yeah.
I have so many people that randomly do that, not even from the band page.
Yeah.
Just 0 posts, hidden profile, just like a face of a llama or something.
Yeah.
It's like, you book shows? Question mark. I go,
Man.
yeah, dude, I do some things like that. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Can you book my band? I'm like,
What's your
5 messages in, you still have given me 0 context
Yeah.
of like what you're about. So yeah, just like shoot us a message and go, here's like our page. Here's some other bands that we've either performed with or would like to perform with. And that starts kind of like building something out. Because even if you're a newer band that you don't have music out, if you go, oh, we're this solid band and we would love to play with like Torture Culture and, you know, all these other bands, great.
Yeah.
At least I start getting an idea. I would love to book, you know, I love booking new bands all the time.
Yeah.
I like to see what these kids are made of. Or, you know, we're adults, we're people older than me, you know. I was like, I know, as long as I can like get a response from you and guide you somewhere where I think it will fit, then let's see what you could do. And then it's also don't come to me like, how do we get into Chain? Like,
Yeah.
I got to see what you can do
gotta
first, because
build-
that
yeah.
overhead is so gnarly. It's like, and we always try to like break down, you know, kick back to the bands. Like, if we don't make money, I eat it. You know,
Right.
That's like bottom line. That's the biggest thing of Kondor. We don't do pre-sale. We don't. If the show fails, great. It's on us. You know, and that's it. Like, I will never tell a band like, yeah, only 14 kids came out today, and this venue costs $1,400. Can you shoot back $250? It's like, no, like,
Yeah.
I booked the show. I know how it is. I'll bite the bullet. We'll make it up on another show. We don't make it up on a show. Whatever. Kids had fun. They got on stage. They got their music heard. That's all that fucking matters.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just reach out. Show me what you got, and that's it.
Do you feel like those messages, like you book bands or whatever, you feel like that is like more of the younger kids that are messaging like that, or is it all
Dude, it doesn't matter. It's all ages. Like,
crazy?
I've had a kid that's come out like right from like, you know, right at the start. We're this band. We want to do this. We're 16 years old. Has to be all ages. I'm like, well,
Love that.
you
Sick.
just fucking made my life so much easier.
Yeah.
Don't book you in Pomona.
Yeah.
Like, I only book 21 plus there.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool. Let's see like what we can do. And then I've also had like old dudes just at a random show. You throw shows? I'm like, I was like, you need some bands? Yeah. Cool. Well, like me and my buddy Todd, we're over here playing shows at the Doll Hut. And I was like, great.
Rad.
What kind of music do you play? You know, we're like crust metal, ska, you know, just if it, whatever you need, we can fill it. I'm like, you
Yeah.
have a seat and put together your genre, and then let's get something going. It's crazy.
It's so weird. I don't know. I don't know if it's just like I guess it's not even like an age thing or generation thing, but like to me it seems like, do you want to market yourself and your band, right? Like you should come at it from a perspective of like, hey, like here's who we are, here's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't think I've, even when I was like fucking 14 years old, it was never like, hey, can you book us? And you're like, what? Like,
Dude,
what's the deal with your band? Like, who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an old, so I was able, this was years ago, but I got into my AOL email. And so, like, I was going through, and I just kind of, I remember going through, like, it felt like a time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one of my old emails that I'd sent to, I think it was the Alley. I think it was when we were trying to get a show at the Alley.
1,000 misspellings.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm like, oh, I was like, man, I kind of missed that, Mike. Like, I was like, it was just like, hey, I'm Mike. I sing for this band I sing for the band No Bragging Rights. We're like melodic punk rock, but we can play with heavier bands. You know, we can do all ages or whatever. We hate selling tickets, but I'll do it. But we'll do it if the show's right.
But see, at least you had all that in the email.
You provided something, you know?
Yeah. And then I told him, I was like, we have our album. It was like a compilation of demos. We have our album at Sounds Like, and we have, if you want to hear our music, I can send you it. This is my number, which is crazy because I'm talking on the phone. Here's my number, and then I can send you whatever you need, basically.
Here's my MySpace link.
Yeah. Dude. But I was just
That's
like,
the proper way, though.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, good for me.
Dude, funny, I got on, this is random, I got on Twitter the other day, or X now, and I just happened to be looking at my messages, because I really haven't used it in forever, and I had this old message from you, and it was apparently like right when you joined Twitter.
Okay, I was about to say, let's be careful.
Yeah. No, those come later. But I had this old message from you, and it was legit, like, you messaged me out of nowhere. It was like 2011, 2012, or something like that. And you're like, Mike. And I was like, Mike. And you're like, what's up, dude? And I was like, oh, what did I say? It was like something like, just hanging, trying to make some money, kicking it. What are you up to? No response. For years. No response. And then all of a sudden there's a picture that you sent that was like a joke between me, you, and Williams. Just bam, years and years later. It was like, what happened to this conversation?
This is how I'd like to think that what happened in conversation is we talked in real life.
Probably.
That's what I feel like happened.
We can go with that one.
If it was that long ago, I
feel like it was
young
like,
at ghosting. I was still so new to the game.
I just gotten into ghosting.
I just got into ghosting. I was so new.
That was his day one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to practice somewhere, dude.
But I always remember you being so bad at social media that I think that was right when you joined Twitter and started following me, and then said something, and then that was it.
Yeah.
It was like 24 hours Twitter, and that was it.
Yeah.
Check out. Sorry, I don't do it either.
Dude, my Twitter was like real bad back in the day. Probably things that I would get in trouble for. Other things it would be like, taking a shit right now. What's up?
Yeah. I went through this phase where I thought, because I was just like, I still think Twitter's kind of ridiculous, but it serves more of a purpose now because you can get, like, I follow it for like sports or like certain things I want to have news on. But for back then, I was just like, this is so fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to just lie. And so I would, like, once a day, I think we were on tour, I would just say, like, dude, I saw Ralph Macchio at this Albertsons.
Would you actually like tag Ralph Macchio, or would you just?
I probably wouldn't have known how to do that. I think I just said it, and I would just like lie about dumb stuff, like
Response: I wasn't fucking there.
Yeah. But yeah, I just remember going through a phase just like lying on there because I was just like, this is so stupid.
That
anyway.
was funny.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
Who's gonna pay attention to this?
Right.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Fucking blind.
Yeah. Could go through and kind of check in our shit like.
Isn't that the worst? Like, you can go and see your memories from like Facebook. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to see a high school Brandon. Like,
Yeah.
delete. It's like, nobody needs to see the long hair days.
I got lucky, and like at some point I got kicked out of like my original Facebook, and I just created a new one. Like, I never fought to get the old one back, so I don't have all these weird memories that pop up, which is kind of nice. I see
hate my
everybody
life.
like posting their old
We
memories,
get
and
them,
I'm like,
Mike. We get them.
yeah,
He remembers. Yeah.
you guys probably have some gems in there.
Oh man. Yeah, a couple of eras of.
Okay.
Well, I'm thankful that this stuff didn't exist when I was in high school. So that's one of the blessings of being old, is our
Freedom.
yeah, you got. But it was funny is that every now and then some of my classmates will like post, they'll like, get a whole yearbook, or they'll get something and they'll post these old ass pictures. It's like, ah.
Are you guys close with any of like the people from high school?
Yeah.
I have a couple. Yeah.
I got like my circle, like that, like
Yeah.
I like grew up with, and that
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted to get out of high school. Well, because I saw this guy on stage, and I was like, I want to fucking go out there and do that shit. Fuck the books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow it all worked together.
Paid off for me.
Yeah. Actually, so on a sad note, but talking about high school, I found one of my classmates passed away. It's really a bummer. His name's Mark McKay. And, you know, and honestly, like I hadn't kept up with him after high school, but, it's just like, we both went to like a really small private school. So we knew everybody and we knew way too much about everybody, you know? So it was a bummer. I still don't really know what happened, but, one of my classmates hit me up and I was just like, oh, fuck. Just a bummer. But anyway, we're talking about classmates. So I figure rest in peace, Mark McKay.
I think that was something that was nicer about being in such a big school is I didn't know everyone.
Yeah.
Like I meet people today randomly. They're like, "Oh, you went to Esperanza?" I was like, "Yeah, I went to Esperanza." Like, I don't know how we didn't know. I was like, "We had like 1,000 kids in our grade." Like, what do you mean? So
it's like, how many friends did you have? 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
these 4. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I went to a public high school in Atlanta, and like same thing. Like over there, graduating class was like 1,000 something, right? And then before graduation, I got kicked out of my house and came out here. Went to La Sierra, and I went from that to a class of 40 kids. So it's like went from like barely knowing anybody to like, oh, I know every single person here
in the first week.
In the first week.
you go in the bathroom and hear someone fart, you're all like, "Yo,
Yeah.
Bill, that you, Johnny?"
That's the other thing too, where it's like, you know, shitting at school. It's always a, you know, weird thing, but it's like when literally everyone in your class knows it's you that left. You know, they know.
There's only one bathroom here.
Dude,
Gone for 30 minutes.
The bathrooms at that school are like in a echo chamber hallway too. So like you fart, and that shit just echoes across the entire quad because it's just
Is that why you guys are so about talk about? You just be like,
yeah.
Doing
There's
some
one
battleship?
so close by.
Dude, there's also a freedom to like knowing everyone is just not caring.
Yeah.
So there's also that where it's like these, you know, everyone knows. Where how do we get there? And then last one from Victor says, "How does it feel knowing you are paving the way for future musicians?" That's real, dude.
That's real. Yeah.
That's real.
yeah, I never really thought about it that way. I was kind of just,
It gets weird when you put it into that perspective.
yeah, I was like, I'm just a dude doing things that I like to do. You know, it's like, how do you feel when you wake up and you write a new riff or a new vocal and, you know, like new track or something?
Yeah.
It's not you having a second thought about it. It's not like wake up, I'm like, I'm doing this for like the youth of the nation.
Right.
Theory. But it's I guess it's cool, you know, because I see in a lot of other scenes or a lot of other like areas when one promoter goes away, there's a huge decline immediately.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool that like when I stepped away, there was a lot of other people still keeping things moving.
Yeah.
And so when I came back, it wasn't me trying to like build something from nothing. It was me like, oh, the stepping stones are already here. Let me take what I've learned from everywhere else and let me, and from everyone else, you know, it's like, I'm only here because people like you, you know, it's everybody wants to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot create music. So I'm like, what can I do to help my friends get out there and do something that, you know, it's not, I don't even think about it about like the youth or anything or like paving a way from the scene. It's, I'm giving somebody who wants their creativity, their art, their outlet heard. And here I am providing that platform. And that's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I'm not doing it to hopefully, you know, well, hopefully every band gets big, you know, but I'm doing it to, you clearly have something that you want the world to hear, or you need to get out of your house. You go put it on that stage and you let the people fucking hear it. Yeah. And that's it.
That's sick.
So that's how I've always seen it, you know.
That's cool.
And there's always like a dramatic a dramatic difference between working with promoters like you who are doing this because you like doing this shit versus the dudes that are like, I'm just trying to make a quick buck off this. And like you could tell like just the way that like the shows are put together, or you know, like the like way that the like money is split, or whatever it is, like you can always kind of tell like, oh, you're not in this because you like this shit, you're in this because you want to make a quick buck, versus somebody that's like, I just want to see everybody do cool shit.
Yeah.
You know? So
I think I lose money, dude.
Yeah. And that's something I think people realize, you know? It's like,
yeah. I also don't go out there. I'm not telling every band, yeah, dude, yo, you know how there was only 67 people here? Yeah, I fucking lost like 4 bills. No, it's like, why would I put that on anybody? It's like, hey, did you have a good night?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like, you live off that high until you get to your next show or your next outlet or whatever that is.
And
That's how this podcast is.
yeah. You know, and there's, you know, and I can speak on this where, you know, we've been places where, you know, we play a show and it's like, you know, small turnout, and the promoter is just fucking pumped, still pays us our guarantee, and like is rad. And so like for me, I've always internalized it. Like I take that and I like appreciate it. So it makes me want to like, okay, next time we come here, like let's fucking, I don't know what we gotta do. We gotta push harder, or let's promote better, or let's do something. Because it's like, you're as, you know, as musicians, I feel like a lot of us, we remember things. I feel like we're all pretty good about like, you can ask a lot of bands like, hey, where's the best sound? Oh, you know, I have these places. Where's the worst sound? This place.
That spot.
Yeah. Who's the worst promoter you worked with? That dude. You know what I mean? Like it's like that shit you remember, but like, but also like when it's good, you know, you, or even if it's not good, if you had a good experience, you know, you want to come back, and then you want to, you know, I feel like you want to be better when you come back. So,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. Like I like the I think for myself, as we were talking, I'm like thinking about like myself. I'm like, man, I used to throw shows, but it was so selfish because I felt like it was either for my band or for my friends.
Yeah.
And then when it started to become more than that, I remember being like, no, this is hard.
Well, it's not selfish if you're doing it for your friends, you know.
Yeah. Well,
But at the same time, you gotta do it for your band a little bit to
yeah.
get to the next spot.
But that's really cool, man.
You know, I'm telling you, I'll never, like you said, I'll never forget that one promoter when we played at Green Turtle, and this dude booked us and just happened to be competing with like 4 other like massive shows that night, and he was just like, he just gave up. Like, he just didn't give a shit. Like he was like, he was just like, yeah, we got so and so down the street, I don't know, and I was like, dog, like
10, man.
yeah.
That's happened to us so many times. Like we'll have a show at like, you know, a venue, and it's like, oh, in the same city.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Sold out show announced 2 weeks, you know, before your bill. I'm like, fuck.
Cool.
I'm like, either way, I'm gonna push it. We're gonna have a great time, and the bands come out. They're always super killer. They're like, yo, thanks for getting us on. I'm like,
Thanks.
hell yeah, thanks for showing up, not bailing and going to that show instead. You know,
Dude, one of our Haven shows, it was like the For the Children pre-shows were all happening the same night, and we're like, oh fuck.
yeah.
Like 5 miles that way there's a show, like 6
I
miles
was
that
like,
way.
that was tonight. Fuck. I would have gone there. Oh man, I don't know what's happening.
Do you need help, Michael?
He's on
It's
Twitter
not,
again.
it's not loading.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, he's on X.
He's pulling up his old messages.
There we go. I was able to, because I can't do the see all. It's not showing it for me. So now I'm just doing the little pan through. Dave Enforcer.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Forrester from Pinup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He said, will he accept payment in La Vic's orange sauce?
Ooh. Oh yeah. I will always take it. Dude, if somebody came up to like one of my shows, it's like, can I get into this sold out show? And I'll give you even like this half a bottle of La Vic's orange sauce. Oh, I'm fucking in. Like,
Wait, explain to me about this sauce.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
the deal?
so up north, like my wife turned me on to this because she's from Sunnyvale.
Oh,
But in San Jose, greater San Jose area, there's a restaurant called La Victoria's, and they have just this beautiful little bottle of orange sauce, and it is the greatest sauce you could. It's hot sauce,
Okay.
but you could put it on a fucking burger. Forster actually did like a tri-tip, like I think it was tri-tip or brisket, like covered with this. We've done, if I have spaghetti, I'm gonna throw it on there.
Fuck.
Pizza, like everything, like
It's like
that's
the most versatile sauce ever.
her mom still lives up there, so it's like, hey, we're out. It's like, okay, how many bottles do you need? We take orders from everybody. It's like, shoot down like 15 bottles, and I'll like go and send her like bubble wrap or something so she can like ensure that it comes like
Yeah.
overnight. It's gonna make it, and we go and like dispense it to everybody. Dang. Dude, like, if you ever find your like way up there in like San Jose, San Francisco area, find a La Vic's. Just don't even bother with a fucking burrito. Do a quesadilla. The quesadilla they wrap up like a burrito, and get the orange sauce. Just load it up. Like, steal 1,000 if you have to. Buy 14 bottles. Take it home with you. Like, you're gonna want it in like anywhere you have access to a refrigerator that you somehow even get food close to here. Just
Dang.
like,
Okay.
I have one at work. I have one at my house. I have one at my parents' house. I'm like, I throw it on everything.
Dude.
That's damn you, Forster. I actually had some before I came here. I made some nachos. I was like, I'm telling you, it's like I got some fat boy hunger before coming. So
I'm fat boy hungry right now.
I'm so hungry right now. All right, so silent majority X.
That's Mike from Iron Roll.
Oh, so
ooh, yeah.
he says, 1, how are you so handsome?
Dude, I don't think I am. I was like, I don't know. I was like,
It's my mom and my dad.
I use the same towel to wipe my ass that I wipe my face,
Yeah.
Just, maybe that's why.
Hell yeah. He said, explain the merch services you offer.
Ooh, all right. So, I like run a whole like merchandise company. I'm the manager of it. We do a lot of ghost printing
And clothing line too, right?
Yeah, that's kind of just little like fun thing. He had one of the OG shirts,
Yeah.
with a big ass fucking pocket. Like,
I love that you. I never brought it up.
no, yeah.
I never.
I think I gave it to you. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. You're like, why? You're like, 14-inch fucking pocket print. And I was like, I like messaged that merch company. I'm like, yo, you beef these up a little bit. They're like, well, that's the logo you sent us. I'm like, yeah, but last time you printed it like at 4 inches, not 14. It just looked like it was just off center now. It was just, I was trying to look like Iron Man, but now you're just over here.
I wore that shirt like.
Well, I gave you a new one. One before the video,
Right.
Constellation Room.
Oh,
yeah. I was all like, here's like a new one before that. And then Charlie, I think, was filming or taking photos.
Probably.
Yeah. But we just do screen printing, embroidery, heat transfers, like accessories, like anything that you can think of is like we can make. Like, we've done condoms, rolling trays, BDSM paddles, like you name it, we've done it. There's such a long list of like requests because we do everything from like DJs to metal bands to pop artists, whatever. So but yeah, so it's what's nice is that since I have access to like all of that, I tell bands like, yeah, if you ever need anything, just let me know. Like, because the pricing tier goes like, they're just a random person that hits us up. Here's your pricing. You're like band pricing. You're a band that's played with Kondor or is interested in Kondor or somehow mentioned fucking Kondor at whatever. Like, yeah, I saw you at whatever. Yeah. It's like, I'm just gonna try and hook you up as much as possible because I'm already gonna do it. I'm already gonna be printing like the merch. Right. So what's me helping out somebody else to get to that next step? It's like, I know how it is. You make that merch sale, you sell it for $20. It costs you $10 to print it. You get to take that 10 home. Am I gonna be like, I don't want to be that merch company where it's like, oh, $25 every single t-shirt. And then it's like, well, how do you make money on that?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that's what we do. I will always try and steer. These kids will come up to me and they're like, hey, let's print some merch. And they're like, cool, here's my design. Can you print it on Gildan? I'm like, no. Like, no, please, like, because it's not a Gildan hammer that they're talking about.
Yeah, I was about to say the hammer's the only
hammer's
shirt I'll like.
Hammer's good, but you're out here with like you're out here with a sandpaper Gildan.
Yeah.
I will never push it.
Our baseball t-shirt.
Like, I'll never push it to a band because it's like, if I want to buy a t-shirt off of you, I want to buy something that is not gonna fuck up my titties, you know?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, I want.
I don't want this shit to hurt later.
Yeah, I don't want to look like 40-year-old version. I'm just fucking bleeding when I get home. It's like, I have, pretty nice sheets at home that my wife will kill me if there's blood all over it. So, but yeah, it's like, if I can guide you to that, then even better. It's like, they're like, well, what shirts can you get? I'm like,
Anything.
you fucking name it. Like, I do Bella Canvas, like, LA Apparel, but I don't advise anyone to do it like at a smaller level.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, your costs, I'll just go to that blank now.
Yeah.
Also, some of these bands are like, can I get 16 shirts but have 14 colors? I'm like,
Fuck.
I was like, let me introduce you to heat transfers.
Yeah.
This might be up your alley. You're going to sweat a lot, but you're going to have the quality, and it's going to be cheaper than if I go and set up 14 screens. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then the clothing line. What's the story behind the clothing line?
When I first became a promoter, we were hosting it only at a church called Soundscape over in Anaheim. Have you ever been to Soundscape?
It sounds familiar.
So, it was just like Anaheim, Yorba Linda area. And I had, who was it? Monster Scare You. Monster Scare You hit me up. It's like, hey, we want to play a show. It's going to be like on a Sunday, but the church that we were hosting events at didn't do shows on Sundays. So I found the Riff House in Fullerton. I'm like, hey, like, can I host an event here? But then I talked to my boss at the time. I'm like, hey, can we like do this? He's like, well, since we're not really like with that venue, this is like our home venue, you could just call yourself something else. And so I started Dead Productions. And that's actually how I booked NBR originally, was Dead Productions. And then at the time, we were doing like Dead Productions, but I was working with like Pirates still. And then we would go and like do a lot of shows together. And eventually I ended up dissolving Dead Productions, but I'm like, I want to keep that name because I've been rolling with it for so long. Yeah. So I turned it into Dead Attire. And that's how that started. And then the merch kind of just like died off for a bit. And then I started doing photography. I was always been lazy with my own merch. it's like I am really good at working for like other people, but when it comes to like my own shit, down. Except shows. Like shows, I'll book shows all day. But hey, come buy my T-shirt, whatever. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Hey, come buy this band's T-shirt that I'm on tour with. Crush it every time. But but with my own, and then then eventually I just brought it back. Just because I was doing Kondor, I was like, I don't want to do Dead Productions because Kondor is more of a umbrella name. It's like I don't only book towards one demographic. We book everything. Yeah. But I wanted to keep the merch kind of alive. And what's cool is that all the money that we get from the merch, we go and put it back into like Kondor. Yeah. So I'll help buy like the back line. So now we have the Ampeg 810, the Orange, the Marshall, and then Peter's drum kit. So it kind of goes and buys us like a little bit more and more stuff. Yeah. So that's kind of like cool. And on top of that, I like to see just like the designs out there. I'm like, I still see the Dead name out there a little bit. So cool. But now I actually get to make the merch. Like we embroider in house.
The hat's
and everything.
sick. Yeah.
Dude, this was just like a fucking random. I was like, I need a test puff print because we got this new machine that I could do this. And I'm just like fucking around. Dude, it was like in my office, there's like 27 other things that have the Dead like logo on it. Never gonna see the light of day. I'm just like, random blank, embroider. Random blank, embroider. Random blank, puff, embroider. So,
dude, if you ever make those hats, I'll rep like 3 of them.
All right.
Rep on stage, they're sick.
I'll make these hats. I gotta do a little embroider for the back of it though.
Yeah,
dude,
gotta beef it up.
I'll buy them. I'll buy them.
This is from
Emilio.
DOAD Emilio.
Yep. Yeah. He said, thoughts on making Kondor an independent music label. Who'd you have on your roster?
Oh, damn.
You should purposely not say them.
I would have just stopped it at no. The way I see it is, you don't it's always nice to have a label. That's extra backing. That's extra promotion. I never wanted to be a label because I don't like creating an exclusive thing. We're just a community. We're just doing things. We're just having people together. We're just bands together. It's not, oh, this band. Because then I'll get other bands like, oh, sign my band. It's like, no. Well, why not? It's like, well, you don't promote your flyers,
Yeah.
or something like that. Like, I don't want to go that route. If I could just, that's why we have like Kondor more or less, because it's everything is just that, it's just a community. It's every band gets to be part of it. It's not, oh, I'm only going to promote these bands. As we promote everyone.
Yeah.
I want every band to make it big. It's not up to me to say that this band deserves to be on a label, but this one doesn't. Because we all listen to different things and we all have different tastes. Like, like some of us like grindcore more than others. Great. Some of us like hardcore more than others. Some of us like, pop punk. Some of us like ranchero music, like that's what you like. That's what you like. Great. I'm not going to be that deciding factor because we don't specifically target one genre.
Right.
So, but if I were to have a label, not dreaming of a day. Just because of Emilio. No, yeah. Of course DOAD would be on it because Peter. I'm sure that will come up. I think he told me that he sent one.
He did. He said, how did you get into managing Dreaming of a Day?
Damn it, Peter.
We might as well just jump right there because somebody submitted another question.
Was it you?
And that wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't you? Wasn't you?
Wasn't me.
I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Looks like a question you would ask. Let's go. Let's do Peter's first.
Dude, he kept, when he was starting like Dream of a Day, because he like, I hadn't talked to Peter in forever. And he randomly come up and he was just barking at my ass. He's like, yo, like, let me be part of Kondor. And I was like, all right, whatever. But we weren't doing like too much. He's like, I'll do whatever. I was like, I see, the thing is like, we don't really like make money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have, he's like, I don't care about money. I was like, you're saying some really nice things right now. Like, I was like, it's like a community thing, It's like, what time and effort do you want to put into it to grow something from the, the bottom?
Yeah.
And, or like, what do you actually want to contribute? I do flyers, I could run shows, I could do sound. You know what I fucking do? You've booked all my other bands. I'm like, all right. And then he just like wouldn't leave me alone, dude. He's like, and then he's like, I'm back. I'm all like, oh yeah, you fucking left to Iowa. And then finally, like, we hung out one time. And then he's like, yo, like, I'm in this new band. It's called Dreaming of a Day. I didn't choose the name. I was all like, and I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. And he like showed me his music. I'm like, fuck. And he showed me Wretched. I was like, yo, this is great. This is a very well put together band. He's like, you should manage us. I'm like, nah. like, I don't manage. Like, I don't manage bands. I would like to help out, and I'll help out everybody, You need a photographer, you're going to get no way. I'm sorry. He's like, I need a videographer. I need somebody, here. I need a merch company, whatever. I'll always guide a band to like those answers.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, like, you need to like manage us. I'm like, well, what do you want me? He's like, just guide us to do like, be more solid band. I was like, dude, no, like, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't manage bands. That's just not what I do. I could be like a booking agent, like a soft booking agent, but I don't want you to put me under like that umbrella.
Yeah.
And then a couple, like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, he just sends me a fucking screenshot, like out of the blue. And just right there at the bottom of his website, it says, managed by Brandon Perez. And he put my fucking email. I was like, God damn it. I was like, Peter. He's like, sorry, dude, you're the manager now. And I was like, no. He's like, well, you already like help us out. You already do everything. So I'm fucking leaving it. I think it's still up there today.
I love that.
Managed by Brandon Perez. I'm like, all right, whatever.
That's such homie shit that like.
Yes. I love that.
He put like the actual like Kondor, like my own personal email in there. I'm like, so I'll get somebody like hit me up. It's like, hey, like we'd like to have like your band like on the show. I'm like, my fucking band. I'm like, my fucking band. I was like, oh, that's right. DOAD. I'm like, sure. Like, what do you need? He's like, this show, but it's 45 tickets pre-sale. I'm like, no. I'm like, this is why he did it. He wanted me to fucking filter out like all the other bullshit. I was like, we're not gonna go have him sell tickets in like Vegas or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, a lot of things that I do is just because someone fucks me into it.
I love that.
Nice. I'll remember that.
So I thought this was you. That's funny.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
That's hilarious. So
Okay.
Easy Out sent a question in, and I thought it was a Perez question because it sounds
It looks like a Perez question for sure. He said, "Who is Ryan? Maybe Rick? Is Rick
maybe it's Rick.
probably Rick? Would you rather live in the ascent of civilization or in its decline?"
I swear I thought it was him. I thought that was a Mike question.
I think
I was like, look at him hiding behind other Instagram.
Why would I just ask him right now like I did earlier?
I think like the start, because at the end, I feel like there's just be shitty. So at the beginning, there's struggle to grow.
Yeah.
There's a struggle to be better than you were yesterday. In the descent, you're just struggling to stay alive at that point.
Yeah.
And where you may or may not see that end. Depending on what the end is.
Yeah.
War, aliens, Taco Bell going out of business. You don't know. That's why it's like
Okay.
it's like don't fuck with that.
I thought about that and what I would do.
No.
Dude, I like super sidebar. I messaged my buddy Steve that I went to music school with in LA today because they're closing down the Arby's in Hollywood, the like OG with the big hat sign. I was like, dude, we used to fucking regularly hit this place all the time. He's like, no. And then it started down a whole rabbit hole of like, I swear Arby's is a money laundering front because I never see people eating there.
No.
I like an Arby's sandwich from time to time, but I never see anybody there.
I went there once and I was like, I'm good.
It's not something that I frequent, but every now and then.
Yeah, I've probably gone to Arby's 3 times my whole life,
Yeah.
and I've lived it's pretty close. There's that one on Magnolia. Is it Magnolia?
There's an Arby's on Magnolia? There's one right here.
Magnolia's huge. There's one somewhere on there.
Yeah. True.
Dude. Another side tangent. I started watching Fallout.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've never played the game, so I had no idea what I was getting into. Kind of crazy. Have you guys seen it, the show?
No.
Play the
dude.
game?
No.
Played the game and watched the show.
I don't play a lot of games where like I don't get a say in the TV.
Yeah.
It's my wife is all like, if I try to put something else on, she's like, and she goes and puts something on, and she's like super stoked about it, which I hate because like I was never into like anime or anything like that, and she just started. She threw on like Naruto first. I was like,
Those are long seasons.
look, dude, it's not even a season. This is a lifetime. And I was like, fuck. And she like already went through it once. I'm like, she got her yayas out. We're good. And she's like, starting it again. I was all like, and then after, I don't know, what do they call it? Like sagas or whatever. After the first saga of it, I went in and I was like, all right, let me like pay attention. I'm just sitting there with like my beer. And it's just like, oh, it's actually pretty funny. It's like, I don't know why I never watched this as a kid.
I have so many friends that are into anime, and they always talk about like anime to me, and I'm like, I can't like bring myself to get into this right now because then I know I'm gonna be stuck for like a year trying to play catch up watching all these shows. Like I don't have time to do it.
We're watching One Piece right now. That thing is just a non-stop ending thing. And then, but it's like, I kind of get excited. I was like, you better not fucking watch it. She's like, no. I was like, whatever, you're going to fall asleep to it. I was like, yeah, but I see the recaps.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. What happened last night?
Did you watch the live action one?
I started watching it, yeah.
Okay.
I think we've only seen like a couple episodes of it. It was all right.
Yeah, I haven't watched either one, but
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, video games. I'm like, I know you guys were talking about Last of Us,
Mm-hmm.
and another one. I was like, oh, that's like. I started like writing things down, listening to you guys. I'm like, I need to watch this or this
the
movie
series
or
is
this
good.
movie.
Yeah, Last of Us is good.
Yeah, I never played any of the games, but the shows have been interesting. My wife, she has her shows that she likes. She likes like Chicago Fire. She likes Suits. She likes Grey's Anatomy.
She likes 911 too, huh?
Which was that?
It's literally called 911.
Probably.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Reno. I was like, yeah.
Reno 911 is
Also, I didn't know there was
Legendary.
like a shared universe and like the Grey's Anatomy and all that stuff.
what?
I think that's what it was. I might be
I think you're
fucking
getting
this
too
up.
deep into it, dude.
Yeah, it's
We
like
need to pull you
it's
up.
like there's like the fire station, there's the hospital, and then there's the police one. It's all shared universe stuff. It's all shared.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway, so that's her. So she has her shows. She has her shows, and then we try to watch those together, and so we did Fallout, and she's like, I don't know if I can do this one with you. It's like pretty gnarly.
It was too intense.
A little intense, but she made it through. We got through the first, I think, 2 episodes.
Word. Yeah.
It's a good show.
I could get my girl into it, but it's like I have to kind of like pull for it to happen. I'm like, can we start this show? She's like, but One Piece. And so like, all right. I'm like,
We'll watch an hour of One Piece, and then. That's funny, dude. Peter, good for you, man. Force things that happen.
dude, all the time.
Making it happen.
Yeah.
Jake Worley.
I'm scared.
It's a good question.
He said, "How did it feel being the #1 pre-sale promoter in SoCal before Kondor?"
Bullshit. There has been so many other people that did like I always just okay. Clearly air with the pre-sale thing. That's all I ever knew. Mm-hmm. When I came into this world of like music, like I was always like the outside kid. Like I'd always see like Warped Tour. Warped Tour was like the greatest thing, you know, in 2007 my cousins took me and that just fucking shattered all sorry mom, you know, that completely fucked up my whole life right there. I'm like, I'm gonna do this.
Yep.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do whatever it's gonna take to like make this happen. And my first like grab at being part of like the music industry, I was just coming out of high school and I was like, I finally got my first car and I was feeling freedom. And I started working at Soundscape Studios with North Productions and they always just did pre-sale. And then enters Pirate and then Pirate always did pre-sale. So I always did pre-sale because that's all I knew. And all I knew was every promoter in Southern California at that time
It's pay to play.
was doing, you know, pre-sale. You go to Whiskey, Chain, Soma, like everyone is just doing pre-sale. And then that's a huge reason why I also like took a step back because when I started touring, I started seeing other local communities, talking to other people, talking to locals in, you know, Lubbock, Texas, and seeing how like they go and they run their scene and how they're just so about it. I'm like, we need that. And I hear everybody from like the older generation that are like, I happen just to like miss like, oh, 04 hardcore. Like you go to any show and you're going to fucking run into your friends.
Yeah.
And so that's like what we started kind of like building, but I would always do just enough pre-sale. I never wanted to profit off of pre-sale. I never wanted to make a dime off of it. It was always, what does it cost to open the doors? What does it cost to get employees in? What does it cost to get this package in or whatever's going to be needed? So I would always just do, you know, like 15 pre-sale a little bit just to like get the show moving.
Yeah.
But then there would be other promoters who'd be like, here's 45 pre-sale.
Yeah.
Here's 65 pre-sale. And then like, I don't know if you guys ever thought about it, but like a show offer just came in for one of my friends and they're like, oh, these are the slots and these are the pre-sale limits. And I'm like doing math. I'm like, that's a 300 cap venue. That's a 300 cap venue that you're forcing every band at differently. And they sent out the tier list. I'm like, that's a sold out show off of pre-sales.
Unreal.
But you're not, I guarantee every single one of those bands aren't going to sell 45, 50 tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to pay out of pocket. And then so you're now just paying for somebody else to have their life. So when I came back, I started thinking things differently. And when at the start of Kondor, as we talked, I was like, I don't want to do that. This scene has done too fucking much for me to be another nail in the board.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to do it. I rather throw in my own cash, throw in my own like time, energy. Like I'm still promoting like outside of like shows, you know, I'm still doing flyers, pay for myself. I'm still out there trying to talk to bands. It's like, I don't want the scene to suffer like it had for years and years and years. So fuck you, Jake. But yeah, that was it. I was like, I was just, if that's something that you were part of and you grew and that's all you were ever taught, you know, someone's telling you like, you know, this is remote is red your whole life. You're going to just keep calling it red.
Right.
But then somebody else is going to come over and it's like, that's magenta. It's like, my bad.
It's wild too, because like I feel like dudes like our age that have done this, like everybody at some point like did pre-sale tickets, right? And I think that there was never like a clear like talk or understanding of like how much you're actually doing, right? So, and I remember like at one point in time, like the promoters would be like, oh, you got to sell 20 tickets, 25 tickets, and you'd be like, oh yeah, I think I can get 25 of my friends to a show, you know. And then like you'd get shows and they're like, we need you to sell 50 tickets. You're like, 50 tickets is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's a lot to pre-sell for these shows. And then at some point, you know, like as all of us do, you just go like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And you like they'd offer you a show and be like, but it's pre-sale. Nope. It's
Yeah.
not. We're not playing.
Yeah.
And it was like, but it was like almost like like you had to go through it to learn it at first, because there like if you don't find a promoter like you who's like, hey, we want to build a community, then you're like, well, how else do we get on shows?
Yeah.
Because there's nobody to like show you that or to teach, like almost mentor you in that shit.
Or even if you like explain it, like even what you said, like we only have pre-sales to cover what we need to get this show started. Like I think that's a cool approach with that. We had at Showcase Theater, the early days, like I remember Joe, the promoter, was booking agent, was really good about being like, these are the tickets, sell as many as you can.
Yeah.
But you know, we have them listed. The ticket says this much money, but you can if you sell it for that much, then you keep $2 or you keep $3 per ticket. And so we're like sick. And then also he explained to us like he's like, look, you're selling, like the reason you're selling tickets is because the band that is coming, they're not from here.
Yeah.
So like you guys are local, you guys bring people for them.
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, well, what? They're like a bigger band. He's like, they're not from here.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, they're gonna bring people, but like, you want to do that because when you get to that point and you start traveling, you're gonna want the bands that play under you. You're gonna want them to help you.
Yeah.
And like I remember that made sense, and I was like, oh fuck. So then they were always cool about like, we're gonna give you however many tickets you want, sell what you can, and then just give us back whatever you don't.
Yeah.
So,
that's a cool way of doing it too. You know, Pinup does like that. So it's like, hey, here's tickets. I'm not telling you like you're gonna give me $750 at the end of this. It's sell what you can, help out the show. Whatever you don't sell, cool, just give it back.
Yeah.
That's great, and I love that. That's because that also pushes the bands to sell. You know, it's so that's what it was also like taught to us. It was like, oh, this is how you know like what bands are actually gonna like push for it. I'm like, but that's such like a downfall because so many bands just got over it. They're like, well, I work now. I'm just gonna put out the $350.
Dude, or some bands would get pre-sale tickets and then they would not sell them and not show up.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, what the
Where
fuck?
are these tickets?
Yeah.
Dude, we had, oh man, yeah, that's a whole. I'm sure you've had some interesting stories with pre-sale tickets and bands.
What was always cool is I always tried to be not like the cool one, but I was always trying to be like, I was always friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd have a band, they'd just be like freaking out, like, yo, I only sold like 10 tickets. I was like, all right. And like, well, I didn't hit like the 15 tickets. And I was like,
10's better than 0.
all right, like,
Yeah.
cool. He's like, are you gonna still let us play? I was like, what? You're fucking here. What am I gonna do? Like, you drove out to Santa Ana all the way from fucking like Ukaipa, and I'm not gonna let you play. I'm like, that's fucked up. Get your ass on stage. Go play the show. Sell a fucking t-shirt, and that's good. And then there was like one band one time we were doing a battle of the bands, but we had like a decent amount of like door tickets and stuff, and we were doing, I think it was like $1,000 to like Guitar Center or something, and they were like freaking out, and I was all like, what? He's like, we didn't make it. I was like, well, considering your gear's already on stage, like you have 5 minutes to go start your set, like that regardless.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, everybody's like leaving, and I see them just in the parking lot. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, we don't have gas. I was like, what? And it's like, well, we gave you like all the cash and we don't have like gas money. And like, they even had one dude like laying in the back of the fucking truck bed. I was like, you don't even have fucking gas. And I was like, you only gave me like $130. I'm like, no. And I just like gave it back to them. I was like, don't worry about it. Like, this is technically like the profit from the show, but it's like, I don't want to fucking take out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Like, you make it home and you drive safe and just get into bed. Like, you came, you crushed it. Like, sure, you didn't win, but at the same time, like, you showed more heart here than the kids who just paid to get onto that show. So I'm like, and that's the stuff that I really like. I always look out for that stuff. I see like how the people are, how like bands are rolling up, and I always try to have that connection with the bands. It's like, because we all start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be that hand that helps you get to that next step? So that's what it's about.
Those good stories, man.
We just don't bring up the birthday stuff.
That's the best, dude.
Was it? I don't remember.
The beer helmet.
So, Thrashing X Death says, would you ever consider working with bigger promoters like Live Nation, SOS Booking, etc.?
Oh yeah, of course. Would love to work with we love working with everybody. That's the thing. Everybody has stuff to bring to the table. With those promoters, you know, they're much larger than us. They've been doing it forever. Do I have something that could help them? Maybe, you know, if they would love to have me at the table and we'll figure something out, great. Me get a local, me even run a stage, you know, it's like I've worked like Self-Help and Warped and, you know, Metal Fest and Knot Fest and everything else. Like, I've worked with them before, not on like a promotion level, but I've worked with them. They're all great guys, you know, everybody, especially for what SOS is doing for our industry right now. Oh my God. They're just, you know, one of the biggest out there. Is like, I would love to get to that like level, but at the same time, I'm also cool with being where I'm at now.
Yeah.
To still be like an asset, like, hey, hopefully one of the bands I book get to make it onto one of those events.
That's sick.
So, you know, I would like to grow bigger. Same time, I'm also really fucking lazy. I'm busy, but yeah. You know.
I can only imagine like how, you know, like with something like SOS, like how many emails do they have to fucking comb through on a daily, right?
Yeah.
Like just
like, how do you even filter that? Like,
yeah.
It's just a constant, I don't know, even with like, we're such a small company. And all day, Aaron, Peter, and I are just like fucking going through like Instagram's like, did you hit them back? No, did you hit them back? Did you hit them back? It's like, oh fuck, one slipped through or something. And then just a company like that where it's nonstop for them. Nonstop.
Yeah.
It's events done. Bet. I've been working on like 6 other events that are happening this year that haven't been announced. And so it's just, it'd be awesome just to even like grab a bite to eat with them and just hear what they did to get to that level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, would love, always open to host events with anyone.
And then last question, he said, same person. He said, what is your dreams, goals, and hopes for Kondor?
Ooh. Hopes, dreams, all that is one day I want to have a spot for musicians, not a venue, not a record store. It's everything. You know, I want it to be where you could just be a kid who started listening to, you know, someone on YouTube, and then you happen to find this spot on your Google Maps or whatever. You walk in, you have a guitar on your back, you're looking through other records, you see another kid like, you know, like think of like a little circle pit, you know, like a little sunken couch area. You're like, yo, dude, what kind of music do you play? It's like, oh, I'm in like a punk thrash band. It's like, oh, word. I'm like in a thrash metal band. It's like, what do you play? I got my guitar. I'm a bassist. We have a little practice room off to the side. They jam out. Something happens, great. You're also friends. You get a share. But then in the back, we have a venue. So if I could have like a venue /record /merch store practice area, that just becomes a community because now the kids have somewhere to go to.
Yeah.
What sucks about the day and age that we're living in is everybody's so, used to just being at home.
Yeah.
Why am I going to leave my house when my house has everything I need? Why am I going to go and have social interactions? Why am I going to go meet, other people? But it's also, we need those interactions for our own mental health as well. Mm-hmm. You're stuck in a room and you're battling your own issues. You're just always going to dwell on that stuff. But if you can get out there and talk to other people who maybe you're not, talking about where you're going through, but you're like, this is how I get myself out. This is how I get my shit out.
Yeah.
Somebody else can go do it, and you can have something beautiful, And it's now a big thing when I was growing up is my parents didn't understand the music community. It was always because my parents came from Mexico. They've been in LA, and they were always trying to shelter. Mm-hmm. So they didn't understand this side. I finally broke through and made my own stuff happen. But it's like, what if this kid Johnny or whatever can wake up and say, "Mom, I'm gonna go over to the Nest and hang out for the day." Oh, are your friends gonna be there? No. All right, cool. Have a good time. Knows that there's food, snacks, arcade games, little practice room, little kit in a little side room. Just get it in, just go practice. Oh, I don't know music. There's this dude who's been drumming for 20 something years that he's just kicking it there with his kid. Maybe he'll teach you a couple chops, get you to that next step. It's what can we do to grow the community more within itself and get these kids off of the streets from doing crazy shit,
Yeah.
It's it always comes back to what's the world that we live in. Everything's coming Corona fucked it up for a lot of people too because it forced people to stay inside. Now people are used to staying inside.
Yeah, they want.
I don't want to go outside. A lot of people took that advantage after Corona to go out and explore and do things they never did. There's a lot of people still that are these walls are my safe walls.
Yeah.
I could do whatever I want on these walls. But it's no. Go out there, go follow your dreams, and go do something that's just weird. That's something that I tell my friends and my family. I'm I'm not gonna go and do something because you want me to do that. I'm gonna go do something because I want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's out of my family, my cousins showed me that, my brother showed me that, my aunts and my parents were always no, I don't know what you're doing. What the fuck is music like that? These kids are just beating the shit out of each other and they're getting crazy.
We're friends, okay?
Yeah, it's it's different. I'm gonna go out there into a parking lot at 11 in the morning and go get spin kicked in the face.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's funny. Sorry, with that, it's I think of my dad. My dad grew up in violence that he didn't want to be part of, and yet he gave me this beautiful life, and then I'm seeking it out. So you must have been what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and I feel so bad doing that to my parents, because I was the Harvey, my oldest brother. Motherfucker, this guy ruined it for me and my brother. He would be the one that sneak out everything. So I think that forced my parents to
be
these next two
Yeah.
prison. Let's keep them here.
Yeah.
If they're here, I can keep an eye on them. But that also creates the sneakiest of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I was oh, I'm gonna go hang out at my buddy's pad. Where the fuck am I at? I'm sweating my fucking face off at Chain, watching some band, whatever. Didn't even know who the fuck was playing. Just I was I got $12 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Gonna go to Chain. How am I gonna get back? Mom, hopefully we'll never know.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then that's
Dude, I
how
love
it came.
That's so cool.
So.
I like that idea, a rec hall, because we have it for sports, youth events and stuff, or a place you can just go play basketball or just go, But to have a place where it's a open music, I don't know.
Yeah, it's doesn't matter what you listen to. Mm-hmm. It's we're a record shop. You can go what if say we had our I do screen printing and all that. What if we had the shop off to the side, and some kid wants to learn how to tie dye his own shit. It's oh hey Kondor guy. Nobody ever knows my fucking name. Kondor guy. Kondor guy. How do you go and print your stuff? It's well, I have a manual. You want me to show you?
Yeah.
You want let me show you how to do your own stuff, burn your own screens. How to record your own music. I don't know how to fucking do that, but I know other people that know how to do it. So it's other people could just go and build it together, and then it's no longer just a recording studio, a venue, a bar that has shows. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's just go out, hang out, shoot some pool, jam out to some music. That's it. Let's just get a good spot. Everybody's worried about money these days. It's cool. If there's a spot that I don't have to pay to go to, but I still kick it with my homies, something I can make friends with other people, I can grow within this world, but in safely, even better.
Yeah.
Create a safe space, but also like explore your creativity at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I don't really know other places that have that beyond venues, you know, doing their own thing. Promoters doing these own things, you know, but it's like a drum clinic to me is the craziest thing in the world. I didn't even know what the fuck a drum clinic was until I went to a practice studio and was like, oh, this dude, Mike Johnson, is going to come over and he's going to go and do this clinic. I'm like, word, sit in. I'm like, holy shit.
This is cool.
There is like, he is teaching all these like kids to dudes that are like 60 years old. They just happen to see his stuff on YouTube. I'm like, that's the stuff that I want.
Yeah.
Like, but then after, some kid's gonna get spin kicked, you know, like, you know, once we get, you know, like torture culture, like on that stage, then
That's it.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Everybody's gonna mosh.
yeah.
Fucking sick.
But the pregame, you know, it's like
Yeah.
gonna go play Mortal Kombat with some homies.
I like that. I liked when, you know, in such a small scale, like you said, like there's venues that have a venue that will have, you know, maybe records or something, or like there's that place in is it not Ventura, but it's like a venue, but it's also like practice spaces or like a school maybe. I forget what it was called.
That's what I want to do, like a venue with like lockouts and
Yeah.
practice spaces for the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like I just like the rec hall aspect of it, where it's
Yeah.
just like a place where you can come in and yeah, just be immersed and be around music.
Yeah, be around like-minded people, because you know,
Yeah.
you can grow up with your homies going to the same school, but it's like me and my friends. Do my other friends listen to like hardcore metal? No.
Yeah.
Do they come and support my shows sometimes? Yeah. But are they really understanding of like, I can grab this kid, scream in his face, and then he's gonna go and be like, "That was the sickest like show of my life."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So that's you know, you get to go and seek your own enjoyment of like-minded people, you know. So that's all it's about, you know. Everything always comes back to the community. That's why we always push it so hard.
Yeah.
Like you guys know, like when we do our like community talks, it's help each other out, promote each other, be there for each other. Don't be, you know, doing random shit in the fucking parking lot. That's why I have bands load in early. I try to create a schedule where it's like, I'm trying to limit your parking lot, your outside, like so much, just because you can play with the same band 4 times, but not really know that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're closer and you're like, yeah, that was actually a really sick riff. How the fuck did you do that? And you get to start listening to them and talk to them. You know, like countless bands have never thought of doing Axe Effects, and then they go and they see that one band. They're like, you loaded up in 2.5 minutes? Yeah, I want to get into that.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
That's cool, man. I like that you have that. It's a goal, a vision.
Well, you know, thank you, sir. Dude, you were there from like the beginning. Like it's and that's also what's cool about what I'm seeing like today is like a lot of people who like influenced me for back in the day are coming back. Like it was one of my dreams to like book NBR, and then I had NBR and we sold out, you know, Pirate Bar at the time. And then now I was booking like Burner State. So, you know, it's like everything's just like a full circle.
Yeah.
So
It stays in the community, which is awesome.
yeah.
Well, you want to jump into this mental health
Mental
check?
health check. Yeah, mental health check. We like to check in weekly, see where we're at mentally. That way, for things going well, what's going on in our lives, and then if things aren't going well, maybe what is going on in our life that is keeping us in a funk. So I'll have Mike go first. Where are you at, Mike?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Been kind of like the past couple of weeks or whatever, been saying like, oh, I got something cool happening, but I don't really want to talk about it. So officially today, I accepted a job offer for kind of a position that I've been like always trying to get my foot in the door. Like still same company or same entity that I work for, but just like on the IS side of things. So like more involved with the back end, more involved with like kind of like the whole big picture build, things like that. And also like basically when I started my job, that I'm in currently, like I'm a trainer. I had to have somebody basically like credential me and get me to the place where I could do my job, and I'm doing that job now.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
And it just like is kind of one of those things where like it came with like a very nice bump in pay. The hours are way better because like I'm back to being off at 2 on Fridays, you know, like that early weekend start. And kind of like it's been such a long process, dude. I like interviewed like 4 times, had to do like a presentation, had like panel interviews, and then like all this like crazy stuff. So like all that fell into place. And then just like, you know, kind of seeing like torture culture starting to pick up pace again. Like you've put us on some really cool shows, which thank you for that. You know, and then like
Thanks for headlining.
appreciate it. But it was like, you know, just kind of like getting the ball rolling again. Like we're if you're coming to the, well, when this drops, if you're coming to the Chain Show tonight, you might hear some new shit. Yeah, so we've been working on that.
Somebody needs to like video, like FaceTime me or something.
Yeah, so we've like just been working on some cool shit. The addition of Travis to Torture Culture has been rad. And yeah, you came and saw Travis's first show with us.
Yeah.
It was solid. And then just easy out, dude. Like the response to Buried that we just dropped, Buried music video. Shout out Noe for shooting that video, and he also shot the video that's going to be coming out in July. And yeah, just so much cool shit that's like kind of falling into place. Got some news about like some potential guests for the podcast as well that we're trying to work out, which is also fucking rad. So
Better not be Emilio. Better not be Emilio.
So yeah, everything's been just kind of like really positive, and it's like part of me has that like I was telling Crimer earlier, like that fear of like, oh fuck, things are going really good, like what's gonna fucking throw the stick in my fucking bike spokes right now. But right now I'm just like, hell yeah, dude, things are in a good space right now. So it's like a relief that things are starting to fall in place. So that's cool.
Brandon, where are you at?
Just living, dude.
Just booking bands.
Yeah, working, trying to, you know, headspace. I'm good. I'm actually like really stoked on like what's been going on this year. Kondor is beyond reason, like growing every single day. This year I think we're actually going to hit over 50 events. So the merch company is just continuously growing. So it's kind of like, it's stressful trying to like balance everything at the same time, because at the same time I'm trying to like keep like home life moving at the same. And then I also don't want to get yelled at by, get off your fucking phone. You're like, I was like, oh, my bad.
I'm working.
My bad. So yeah, just like the balance of it all. But beyond that, it's super grateful to have, you know, guys like you, you know, bands, having a team like my Kondor guys. I love them. The merch productions people, like my whole team on that side is just, everybody's just rocking super hard. Everybody puts in like a lot of hours. Everybody just works really well together. So it's just a never ending like escalator moving up right now. And it's so sick just to see like everything is moving well, like not super quick where like you get like nervous where like, how are you going to like manage this? It's like, you just need to fit these tile pieces perfectly and you'll be happy with everything else, but also very excited with your success.
Yeah.
So, and the success from like the Kondor is how many more shows can we do? How much more can we help out with the bands? And that's my biggest like thing of trying to be stress free is these events. The more I get to help out, the more I have like that good feeling. It's like I'm doing something. Doesn't matter how much time or effort I put into it, but in the end, it pays off because somebody has a stage.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
And like, so what's your, because being a promoter, things are going really well, but I imagine like stresses, How do you decompress, or like what do you like to do in like your if you have any free time? What would you do in it?
Honestly, huff a cat. Just I have my 4 cats, and it's just I get home, and it's just that's walking in through that door and seeing like my wife and my cats. Great. I don't have my hobby and my, recreational stuff is Kondor.
Yeah.
Like that's it's I don't treat that as a job or as, a side gig. It's that is my stress relief. It's everything I've ever done, everything I ever do is always like high strung stress. I'm trying to meet a deadline. How do I pull this off? How do I make this happen? But with like the shows, it's just mapped out so clean in my head that as long as I can pull it off, and having Aaron and Peter on like my side, it just makes it so much easier. So that's how I really like just decompress, is just Kondor and then seeing my family, especially trying to of recent I'm trying to get closer with like my actual like family trying to hang out with like my niece, my nephew, my brother. I only got one now, so it's like trying to get closer with him, trying to be like get closer again to like my parents. So just trying to solidify like the family, and be closer with even my friends, trying to make more time with them. So it's funny that Jake messaged, because Jake's actually like one of my closest friends. So he moved, dick.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know how it feels.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. Well, at least it's still the same state. But yeah, so that's how.
State, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, so that's how I really like decompress, is just seeing my friends and my family and my own family like grow every day, and that's just I don't need anything else. That's seeing them be happy, us getting together, making some tacos. Great.
So 2 questions. One, did they save you a plate at the barbecue last weekend?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. I was like, I always shoot out the text messages like, yeah, like I'm probably gonna get between this hour and this hour, and then just put some tacos off to the side for me. We'll be good.
And then 2, do you have a favorite cat?
Oh no.
and also, before you answer this, they watch this podcast.
They watch the show.
I know. I'm playing at home, and then but no, they're all 4 cats are super special. There's just one of them was actually on purpose. The other one are just trash cats that kind of just popped up.
Sick.
So yeah, I can't. They're so special in their own way. I have one that's just like a crackhead, but you'll never see her.
Yeah.
Then I have another one that she's just the sweetest thing in the world, but hates all the other cats. And then I have like, I don't know, I guess like my little dude. I have Gus. He's just this dumb little white cat. Well, he's a long boy, but he's I can actually like snuggle him. So, but now he just takes it too far. When he comes up to me now, he's like, yeah, give me some love right now. Like I'll be holding him, but then like my wife will walk up and he's like, oh, let me go over there, and he just goes over there, but he like stares at me like, pet me. So we'll just be standing for like 5 minutes. I'm like loving on him. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then there's Jules. Jules is she's this little, call her like we call her huevitas, because she's just weird. That sits in like our egg bowl. That's her spot. She just loves it.
Yeah.
It fucks up my eggs, but I'm like, whatever. Just that's her bowl now. And she's just dumb. She thinks all the other cats love her. Nobody loves her in that house besides like us.
Yeah.
So, but she's always just like, doesn't matter. Like, hey, you're out? Where are we going? You just hear her little bell just behind you. So yeah, I love them all. I can't. There's not like, if there was a fire, I'd probably just die.
Trying to fight them all.
Yeah, I was like, where are you? Where are you?
They're like outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're outside
Where are
already.
you?
I'm just like, oh. I happen to die next to the pantry. They're like, oh, fat ass, just trying to make that one last plate of nachos with the goddamn orange sauce.
Just die with the bottle in your hand.
Yeah, just like
He's got all the orange sauce.
it's like, oh, he didn't die from the fire. He just died chugging that orange sauce.
Mike, where are you at?
Well, first off, do you know whatever happened to that cat? And
Karima called, and I don't know if somebody showed up or not. We're gonna say that they did. There was this cat last week. Me and Mike were standing out front waiting for Jabril and Cole to get here, and this cat walks up, and Mike just we're talking about something. He just stops and he's like, "Dude, that guy's had a day or something like that. And I look over and this cat is like, dude, like brink of death.
Oh no!
Like, it had
Like
been
got into it with like dogs. Not
Oh shit!
Like, that's
half
what
of
it
his
looked like.
face was missing, and he was just like all his fur was all like jacked up, and he's just like walking really slowly, and he stops in my neighbor's driveway and like looks at us, and then just lays down. And Mike's like, he might die here, and I was like, dude, he looks like he's gonna die here.
Yeah, I think he had that look where he's just like, this is a good spot.
Like,
But
I made it.
but still a fighter, because like I kind of walked around, and he had flies like flying all around him and shit, and I walked around to kind of like, and he got up, and then like went underneath the car and then just laid down.
Yeah.
I told my girl about it, and she was like, we have to call somebody, and he was like, if you tell her, you're gonna have a cat.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she knows, we can't take him in.
That happens with us all the time. I think we've rehomed like 20 cats already.
Yeah.
Everybody just knows us as like, we are the kid. Like,
The cat.
the house is called Casa de Lucy because we have a cat named Lucy. And she's like the queen of the house.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, sitting here being fat. Like, what's up? He was like, I found this cat. I was like, fuck. I was like, all right, let me prep the room. And then it's just, out of all the cats, we've only had one that like stopped breathing on us. And it was the saddest thing in the world. And I never thought it would happen. She was doing so good.
Yeah.
We called her Dusty, and then we took her, and like she was just having like a hard time. She had like a bad eye. She had a respiratory infection and stuff. We took her to the vet, and they're like, this is all you can do for her. And then we brought her back, and then my wife was like hanging out with the little Dusty, and then she just comes in. She's like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, she's like, I think we need to go back. And we took her back, and then that's when they told us like, yeah, she's just gone. I was like, fuck. And I was like, I know there's always the risk, and we're always the one that people hit up. Like,
Yeah.
we have this cat. Like, we've picked up cats from like, South OC and driven them up north to go drop off to my wife's mom. And she has like somebody like up there is like, hey, there's this person that will take like this one cat.
Yeah.
And we'll go. The amount of times like I think we see her mom more to drop off cats like in the middle of like just like randomly on the 5 freeway somewhere, like, hey,
Yeah.
here's a cat. Oh, great. Here's a cat for you. And then we just keep finding homes like that. It's great. It's like a cool, really weird network
Yeah.
that is just, hey, there's a cat. We're going to find a home for it. That's actually how we got Jules, the little orange cat. It's just, we found like 4 homes for her, and just no one wanted, like, it would always fall down, like fall through the last second. And then it was like 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas. I was like, God, this cat's so dumb. Like, it's like, it's okay, because she would try and like run out, not even like run out, like she wanted to escape. She's just like, what the fuck's out there? And I was like, we live where there's coyotes. You will die if you go out there. Like, get the fuck back in. And then so for Christmas, I got her, it was like a gift for the cat, but it was a collar that had like my phone number on it, her name, and like a bell. And I gave it to like my wife, and she's like, the whole thing with like presents, and my wife was just out the door. I left fucking with her. I'm like, hey, I have this surprise. She's like, what the fuck's the surprise? And she'll like, I have a feeling I'm gonna like wake up. She's just like choking me out or something one day just because I don't tell her. But I was like, fine, you can open one gift because tomorrow's Christmas. And she's like, all right. I was like, but I have to pick it. It's for a cat. She's like, whatever. And I gave her it, and just immediate, just like, I don't even think there was like, I was scared she was gonna just pass out. I don't think she was breathing or anything. She was just tears, because we were trying so hard to find this little girl a home, and finally like we are the home for her.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
yeah, but yeah, if you guys ever find a cat, just let me know. We'll end up.
I don't know if it got picked up or not, but there's one with half a face. If you,
I got.
I think I haven't seen him around, so I think they got him. But,
Hopefully, we'll be hopeful that cat gonna be living off somewhere.
straight up like
I
the
was,
whole side of his face was like.
I remember what I said. I was like, he's on his 9th life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell.
He was real proud of it too. He was like,
Nailed it.
He went home, told his like wife.
yeah. Guess what I
Said
said?
this shit. She's like, that's fucking horrible. But sick as fuck.
That's what I said after I said that, though. I said it was horrible. Where am I? I'm doing well. I have I'm hoping. I sent a couple resumes. I'm commuting from basically Santa Monica to Riverside. So,
What time?
I leave at 4 a.m.
Okay, at least like you beat some of the traffic.
Yeah.
Just-
Oh yeah.
you get screwed in the time.
Yeah. No. It's a pretty easy drive.
You stop being able to convince yourself you enjoyed the commute, huh?
I do. I don't. It's not that I enjoy it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it because I get to. I'm either singing or I'm like working on, like something. Like right now we have a song, and I'm like I've written 5 different versions of it, which is a good sign because Somewhere in Between was that way too.
Yeah.
But, I had something else to say. Oh, by the way, I've been here the last 2 Saturdays. I've been in Riverside, and he hasn't been able to meet up for coffee.
To be fair, you hit me up super loud. Last time you hit me up at 4 a.m.
I mean,
I still hit him up though. I still hit him up though.
On Twitter or where?
I'm like, where are you?
Sent that email, you know?
Yeah.
It's you've been gone so long now, Mike, that it's no longer in my Saturday morning schedule to go get coffee.
Although the weekend before, him and Martin had gone together, so.
Also, to be fair, like the one weekend Martin didn't have shows in the entire month.
I know. But other than that, I'm doing well. things going well. I feel like we're still in that stage where oh yeah, put it up, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, no big deal.
I just realized you had it.
Yeah. Everyone asking like, oh, what's married life like? Like
You're like, it sucks.
right now it's just like it's like easy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel this way, but it's like I don't feel like a big change. I feel like it's just I don't know, it's just nice. The nice thing about it is I feel like now we get to like drive to places together, so we're only using one car and like saving our gas. That's been.
Were you guys living together
been
before you
nice.
were married,
No.
or did you ever try and that you just got married and then just
No, I mean
went in and she got screwed?
no, we
That's actually quite literally what happened.
I mean, we've been together a lot. Like either we're out in LA where she was from,
Mm-hmm.
or she come out here to Riverside. So, but we're always going back and forth. So
You guys drive her car a lot, huh?
when we're in LA, we drive her car, just because my car does the long distance.
Yeah, I try to use my wife's car. Well, I have the truck, so I'm like 16, 17 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
There's this Toyota over here that gets like 30. And she always gets pissed at me. You're fucking in my MPG. I'm like, whatever, it's an average.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's good. I feel like things are going well. Like I feel like for the changes that have happened in my life, I feel like there's also there's exciting things that are going on. So I'm like with Easy Out, that's exciting. At some point, I don't know. MBR is in this like stage of like we're like writing, but everyone's been so busy. Everyone's in different bands and stuff. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to the future, and I feel like right now things are aside from just like spending a lot of money in gas, but
Yeah.
everything is everything's fine. I feel like I'm in a good place. I like my dad just that's sorry. I had something. I was like, where do I want to go with it? My dad had a birthday this week, and so just kind of being able to be with him and stuff, and like my dad is like really healthy, and
81?
82.
82?
Dang.
That's
In better
82.
shape than everyone in this room.
Yeah.
I've never been in shape.
He's
I'm ashamed.
Yeah, but and so it's been cool because then we celebrated my dad's birthday and then Father's Day and stuff, and so I think I'm just trying to like it was just in a place of like being like grateful, because I know not everyone has a good dad situation. I've been blessed with mine, and I don't know. It's just I guess I've felt grateful this week. So I feel like that's put me in a good place. But sorry. Side note. For Father's Day, we had like dinner with our family, and then we had my aunt and uncle there, my dad's brother, and so we were asking them to like, share stories of like their youth. I didn't know my dad at some point. I don't know if he had the record, but he was like ranked for high jump or something in high school, and he also did the pole vault thing.
Oh shit!
And he did it when it was still a steel pole, not the bendy one.
Terrifying.
And they landed in sand.
Terrifying.
Dude.
Hey, your dad's a real man.
I know. Like, talk about being like built different. Like, can you imagine trying to get kids like?
He probably looks at you like,
yeah, you soft.
soft ass bitch. Soft ass Mike.
He's like, pillow I sleep on, strong, harder than you. But and then just hearing and my uncle too. My uncle's the older brother, and they lived in like gnarly poverty, like growing up, and so he has pretty crazy stories of growing up and stuff.
Were they from over here or?
No, so they spent a lot of their time in San Jose area, like up in Salinas and all over.
They
all
know
over.
about Lavix.
Oh, you know what? Dude,
They probably do.
They probably do, man. I gotta ask them.
You gotta ask some right questions.
But yeah, I don't know. It was cool. It was a fun weekend, but I'll share the story off camera, but yeah, it was a good weekend, and I'm in a good place. So
Sick.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's get some jams.
Yeah.
Dude, side note, shout out to Karaima, because she shot photos at the Desmadre show, and she was posting them today. And I guess Martin just texted me and said that Esteban Oriol commented on her pictures.
Dude.
That's legend right there. So great job. Not that she ever listens to this show. Not that she ever listens to us ramble about stuff, but let's have some jams. So we have a playlist. Pretty much we have our guests add no genre restrictions, no rules. Just what have you been jamming lately that's been in rotation?
Gotta give the homies in Lacerated a shout out. Just had them at Chain. Stain the Stage Red. There's a new song off of their split with Don't Fear the End. So both of them just did Chain. Great bands. We've been pushing Lacerated really hard. We had them with like I Set My Friends on Fire.
Sick.
Crushed it. Just overall, it's a great band. Has a great, every member is just so nice. Supports every show. So that's and I don't know, every time I listen to them, I feel a lot of power coming through my truck speakers,
Mike?
So this one, I'm only gonna say because like I'm looking through, I was like, man, what listen to? I played these at the barbecue this weekend, but the Gaslight Anthem, and their song Great Expectations.
Nice.
Which we might have that already on the playlist as I'm thinking about it now.
I don't think
It's on the playlist like 4 times.
I'm going in a different direction. I'm going like Texas hip hop. Big X the Plug. Back on my BS. There's something about like this dude's like instrumentals and beats just go so hard. Jesse, what have you been jamming?
Oh shit, dude.
Wait, both Easy Out songs? Jesse, you want to add those to the playlist? Do we have those on the playlist?
Oh shit, you're actually serious?
I'm serious. Shout out Jesse. We're gonna put it right here. Jesse got a walking blind tattoo.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
First of its kind.
First of its kind.
I didn't get the same color though.
It'll be right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we do now that there's a center shot?
Hold on, let me see. Dude, it's actually.
You're freaking out right now, huh?
Yeah, I am.
That one's hot.
Actually, you know what? I've been jamming hard. Amber, Stick to Your Guns.
Classic.
Yeah.
Always.
Sick. Well, dude, you want to plug any socials or anything before we get out of here?
Just Kondor ent, everything. I mean, technically we have like a Twitter and a YouTube and stuff, but I just like once we decided on the name Kondor, I was like, I gotta make sure I can get everything.
Yeah.
We only really use Instagram.
Yeah.
Like everything else just doesn't get the traction. I throw money into Facebook, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? But
So with Easy Out, we went through like 4 different names when we were getting things rolling, and so we'd agree on a name, and I'd get everything, email address, Instagram, Facebook, all this shit, make everything, and then be like, I don't really like this name, and then we'd fucking do it all over again. So I have like all the different names. Like if anyone wants to start a band, I have a couple cool things lined up. But yeah.
If anybody wants to start a cool straight edge band,
Yeah.
we have a cool name. Or a stoner band, I guess it could work for both.
Or some name, yeah.
yeah, when we were doing Kondor, it was like we're running through the names, and then I came up with I was like, oh, Kondor, and I looked up, I was like, oh, it's fucking taken. And then my wife from the kitchen, why don't you just do it with a K? Kondor. I was like, I'm gonna marry this one.
Found a good one.
I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
For us at Walking Blind Pod everywhere, email address walkingblindpod@gmail.com. And
Yeah. If you like what we do, please follow, like, and subscribe.
so we love you guys. See you guys soon. Peace.
Back again!